Hey, it's me. It's your boy, Asmongold. No. Hey, Snuggles. I do apologize for the computer sound. You're going to be able to hear that. I'm doing this without the door. I stayed up really, really late, and I'm kind of scared to move the door, because if I drop it, I could do some serious damage to the wall. So, no door today, but next weekend, I guess, this Friday, I'll do one. It'll sound really good. Try to do one Friday or Saturday night, depending on which, I don't know, whatever works out better. Oh, I meant to have that. There we go. Alright, we're ready to roll. And basically, oh wait, that's what's wrong. Derp, I forgot to resize that window. So that's about right there, I think. Oh no, come on. I hate those auto macros for Windows. I need to turn those off, because I always want to line them up like perfectly on the edge, but not maximized. Okay. So I was going to start out pretty much just ramble for about programming and whatnot forever. Doing some random triggers here and there. May end up having to clear my throat a lot. And yada yada. But yeah, maybe the computer will be like a weird white noise. And you may hear the upstairs neighbors and so forth. Moved all my stuff again. Did it in like a weekend. Didn't take very long. Anyways, had a path I wanted to start on. Was I went to technical college for probably the better part of 2 years, and I had a teacher there named Jerry, and me and all my friends at the time were really big into Homestar Runner, so we called him the Jerry. And we called each other the Luke, the Derek, and the Mike. It was good times. But yeah, he was a really good teacher, old Jerry. Can't remember his last name. I have to look it up. Langford, Jerry Langford. He's a really cool guy. If you've ever heard of the Star Wars program, not the movie Star Wars, but a thing from like the 1960s, I think it was. Pretty sure it predated Star Wars. But it was a government satellite or a space station. I can't remember. It was one or the other. But what it would do is it could detect movement in the atmosphere to like any kind of ballistic missile or nuclear warhead or anything like that, and they could figure out the trajectory that it was going and fire a missile and kill it before it hit enemy, or before it hit our land. It was really, really cool. But yeah, at one point I corrected him after I'd been there for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And when I corrected him, he completely took in the whole extra day out of the curriculum to explain why I was right. Excuse me. But yeah, it really made me feel good. And I used to show him programs and stuff all the time that I was working on. And one day he just told me, he's just like, you're going to be a really good programmer. And that just blew my mind. So that always stuck with me. Well, Jerry Langford. He retired the year that I would have graduated. Which is kind of sad. I wished I'd have graduated for him, but oh well. It's good to have good teachers like that. He was one of the few teachers out of that whole building that was worth a crap. There's another guy that reminded me of Foghorn Leghorn. Estes. Old Mr. Estes. That old boy was hilarious. He literally talked like Foghorn Leghorn. The only thing he didn't do was throw in the what nah, say what nah. He didn't do that. He didn't stutter, but everything else was just straight up Foghorn Leghorn. It was really hard not to laugh in his class. Whoa. Da, 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 da. Yeah, programming, it's a weird thing. Like, I watched a lot of people take the same classes I did, and they didn't do nothing with it. And like I started out with Java, which was the perfect language for me. I freaking love it because I can talk logic all day long, but I couldn't do it in assembly to save my life. And any of those or fixed position programming languages or procedural languages, I hate those. Give me some modules, give me some objects. I can do a lot more with that than I can with putting the 1 in the right place and a in the right place. Converting decimals into hexadecimals and all that. No thank you. RPG, I hate RPG. I had to take 2 classes of it. I think it was 4 and 5 or 5.1 and 5.2, something like that, but I hated that language so much. It was not fun. I did a independent study with a lot of C++. I got really pretty deep into that one. Kind of wished I would have had a decent class on it for threads. It was really hard to get a good tutorial with C++ threads. A decent one anyway. I kept running into performance issues and little hiccups, and I couldn't keep a steady frame rate even if it was really low. It was always just super wobbly. And add in networking with that, and it was a disaster. But first, I had a card game going. You can get a deck editor version of it on the Play Store, but I did that whole game in C++, OpenGL, the fixed function pipeline. It was freaking hilarious how much crappy code was in there. I didn't have the first shader in there, but I made it work. I made the best out of that fixed function pipeline code. Had thousands and thousands of vertices. I mean, I would guess probably right at 1 million, maybe. I don't know. Maybe 500,000, something like that. But it was a lot. I mean, I had 16 debuffs for board tile. There was 158 board tiles, or I can't remember the exact number. Probably a power of 2. It was great. Had cards that you could play that did damage. Had interrupt cards, which worked in real time. Like when you played a card, it had a casting time, and then you could interrupt it. Stuff like that. You could place debuffs all around the board, on the board tiles, so you could have a spike trap with a springboard trap on it, so if they ran into that tile, then they would get hit by the spike trap and get knocked back, and it was great. It was fun. It had a lot of different game mechanics built into it, and it was really easy to edit new ones. But moved it all to Java after working on it for a while and quitting. We all had to go back to our jobs. we didn't make it in time. Pain in the butt. But yeah, had a lot of cool mechanics, and it started out as a top-down shooter kind of game, but you were on horseback, and you had wizard, knight, and ninja. The ninja had a quick stealthy quick jabs and stuff, and the knight was really strong and slow, and the wizard did fireballs, ice balls, and stuff like that. We had talent trees and everything. We did what we called feature creep. We feature creeped the crap out of everything we did. As soon as we get started on something, we'd be like, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if it did this? Wouldn't it be cool if it did that? That's why we worked on games for 2 years and didn't have anything finished. We had a good alpha build of the C++ board game for a while that worked online. You could play up to 4 players all across the world. It was pretty fun. But yeah, right now I'm working on getting rid of redundancy. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been posting pictures. I started Friday night, I think, and all I had was a triangle. And I think by Saturday I had a model, a really nice detailed model, and then by Sunday I had textures, and by today I have material sheets. I've started working on material sheets, but that's where I'm running into redundancy, because I've got a model that has one texture, but it has 5 different objects. So for each object, it's loading in that same exact texture. So I gotta get rid of that. I don't really like that. That's a performance dip, and makes it slower on the startup. I want the startup to be as fast and smooth as possible. And that should be a pretty easy fix. I'm more or less just like meditating on it. I haven't really written any code yet for it, but imagine I'm just going to compare all the strings of the textures as I load them in. So if I load one in and check the last string, if the last string was equal to the current string, then take that same integer and just pass it in to the texture handles, so that it'll, well, no, I don't want it to bind to, so I gotta keep the count from rising there. Yeah, as I load the texture images in, I need to just suppress the count if it's the same as the last one, and don't load it if it's the same as the last one. And I think that's really all I have to take care of. The rendering method, I need to that's what I'm not sure how to do. I guess, yeah, since it'll just keep it as one texture, it'll just use the same texture for every one of them. But it needs to be more robust than that, because there might be 2 texture images and 5 objects or something like that, so gotta be ready for any weird combinations like that. The first model that I used was Midna from Wii U Smash Brothers. That's the one I've been really grooving on, and then mainly because it was just one texture image, it was one ping, but there's 5 different objects in it, so if you load the objects in all as one object, it works, so it was easy to get started with. But I had a lot of weird issues with texturing. I did some stupid stuff. What I did was, the first thing I did was, instead of loading in the texture coordinates, the UVs, I was loading in the vertices, the vertexes or vertices, yeah. So all the textures looked really weird and stupid, and they were off. And then after that, I figured out where I went wrong there, so I fixed it. But I ended up loading in the normals, which looked the same as far as the values go. The values are almost the same, but it was wrong. So I realized, oh, back it up one space. Now I'm gonna do the normals, but I'm gonna wait till I get into lighting. I haven't gotten into lighting yet. Probably gonna hold off on that. I'm probably gonna do some more fun stuff like physics. Like, one of my favorite things to do is to start off with a whole bunch of objects, like have 128 of them or something, and have them all centered and invisible, and then give them random XYZ directions. Pow! But pop them off in sections so they don't all explode at the same time. Maybe do like 20 or 30 at the same time, and then right behind that have a random number just spilling out every couple milliseconds, just random, and it looks like a common firework. Just and then as they have a radius that once they exceed, they disappear and come back to the beginning and get ready to explode again. Those are fun procedures. Doing little stuff like that, it's neat, because from there, like, you can start making bullet engine and a bullet engine with it. Like, that's what I did with the top-down game we were doing, the little shooter. And we also had a boss that it was a dragon at the end of a cave, and in the level there were a bunch of cavemen. So by the time you get to the boss at the end, he was a dragon that vomited like blood and caveman parts. It was so much fun. It looked so wild. It would have been a really cool game, but it would have taken like 5 or 10 years to finish. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm in the right spot here. We need to do. Alright, when we're loading our textures, actually we're going to materials. Oh wait, we got rearrange textures, read materials. Here we go, read materials. That's what I'm going to be looking at. Okay, load textures. Okay, we are going to, oh nice, this will be quite convenient. Excuse me. We can compare if. Oh, wait, no. You go to texture handles and create a string. This string is going to be the last texture name equals empty string. And we're going to go to load texture. Where's my methods? I don't know if anybody's messed with any IDEs here lately, but they're getting really, really sophisticated. The hints that they can give you are out of this world. Like for every method, it'll show you the name of the argument, like before it, where it receives it. It's really great. It kind of confused me at first, but I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. It makes it so much easier to remember and proofread your code. Like, one thing I was messing up was the stride, the vertex stride, and the texture coordinates and the vertexes. But having that name there, I was like, oh, stride, RN offset, SN offset, oh, yeah, sweet. It's freaking amazing. Alright. Where's my load texture file? Or load texture method. There we go. And let's see, where is the name? Actually, I don't need to do that. No, thanks, Magni CH. I'm not sure what Nulk is. I've never heard of that one. So, ASMR April, Homie Bear, Luke Sowell, I haven't seen you in a while. King Victory, David Avalos, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. We're loading textures to texture names. There we go. Boom. No, it says texture paths. Yeah, that will work. Okay. Load texture paths. We're gonna go with the last path. The last texture, we'll refactor that later. Name equals path. Okay, and then materials. These are too far away. Alright, we're gonna say if last texture name dot equals texture paths I, and then bracket that. Let me hit enter. Okay, and last name test texture name dot equals texture paths I. Okay, and now we're going to readjust the count for int I equals 0 I is less than texture names count. Oh, uppercase, and texture names dot equals we're gonna do it this way. Boom, boom. Texture names. Oh, that's not texture names, it's texture paths. Alright, dot equals a blank. Boom, boom. Alright, else. Alright, so if the last one is the same as texture paths, then we want not that. Not the last name dot equals texture paths. So if it is not the same, load. Otherwise, This is dicey. Texture names count minus if texture names count. It's got to be greater than 0 if I've already read one end. Boom. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm not going to change the count there. We're just going to read through all of them. And if they're not equals, don't load. So if they're not equal, don't load. And that will make those texture handles 0. So we're actually going to go through the texture handles. Texture hand. Oh, gotta turn that off. Forgot I had sound on. Sorry about that. Okay, if texture handles I is equal to 0, then texture handles count minus. That'll be quick and dirty. I think that'll get it done though. So that way, that'll keep him from at least loading, I don't know, back to back, same textures. That may work. It needs to be better than that though. Actually, no, that'll work all the way through if it's the same texture. If I run into any problems, that'll probably be good enough. Alright, so now in the rendering, that's going to be the tricky part. I need to safeguard that texture handles. There we go. If texture handles count greater than 1, texture handles 0. Alright, that should be it. That happened a lot faster than I thought. That was not hard at all. I mean, I did think about it for a pretty good bit first. I went to work thinking about it, actually. That was that was what was on my mind the whole time I was working. I ended up just finishing some odd little jobs. It wasn't really hard. What's going on, Rob K? Bogdan Koken? Guess that's how you say that. What's going on, Franco like this? Cronin, been here since the beginning. Sam Carthy? No, I'm not gonna show my work. It's pretty sloppy right now. If I get it nice and clean, I might show it off. Just do like a pass through, but none of this is designer code yet. It's all placeholder and a bunch of stuff commented out, and it's like I said, it's just really ugly right now. But I'm scaling it down. I'm doing a lot more with less lines of code than I did on my last iteration. My last iteration was kind of garbage. I was working all by myself and doing Android programming for the first time. I had never got into 3D on Android before, and it was really different. It's a lot harder than I expected. And that was even after C++. Like, I eventually got there, but there was several things that I kind of half buttocks it. Especially my model loader. My model loader was garbage. Oh man, it was horrible. It could barely load a model. It could only have one texture, and I never used material sheets. Didn't use object groups. It was really, really bad. And I was also really rigid about how the model had to be perfectly centered. Like, no matter the height, width, whatever. Like, I wanted the model perfectly centered. From highest point to highest point, center that. Midpoint, midpoint, center that. Which is probably kind of odd. That's probably not how most people do it. And like I said, it was garbage code. I did it. Everything was just quick and dirty, and it wasn't worth the crap. Oh, I let my phone bad, didn't I? Did I even look at my code? It's gonna have to load them again. So far I'm pretty proud though, because here lately I have not broken the any memory leak things yet. Oh, we've lost it. Okay, so I did mess up somewhere. I figured that would happen. Let's see, where did I screw up? Yeah, texture handles count greater than 1. Use I. Let's make sure I am incrementing that. Up here. Yeah, we just need a not. Yeah, that's where I screwed up. I shouldn't be trying to get rid of texture handles. That way, that's stupid. And go. Order wings as an appetizer. They're my appetizer. I'll tantrum if you take them all in the same way. Don't you touch my food. You order your own food. Don't order a freaking salad and then eat half my damn food. I will get upset. I will not be happy about it. I'm not being petty, just I love my wings. Probably my favorite food. Okay, loading textures. These models are pretty big too. The scale on them's enormous. When you first open them in the Blender, like they just take up the whole freaking screen. It's insane. It loaded the textures for... Did it get Midna? I don't think it got Midna. It did not. If not, this texture name, that equals texture path I. Make sure last texture name dot equals blank string. Let's see if that's where I messed up, because that's probably where I messed up. Boom. Rocket League. What's Rocket League? My favorite song right now is probably Ellie Goulding, Something in the Way You Move. Freaking love that song. I love Ellie Goulding. I'm actually a metalhead, but being a metalhead for like 20 years, I ended up desiring something different in music, so there we go. That's loading them both now. No crashes. 2? Nope, we get a crash. Why we have crash? We don't have crash. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of that if altogether with comments. Just to make sure. I know this was working before I left, but I didn't change very much. All I changed was that right there, and that right there. So this should work. But yeah, that song, the very first 20-30 seconds of it, something like that, is her just walking in high heels, and then these weird like digital, I don't even know how to describe them, they're kind of like explosions but metal. I don't know, they're really neat. And okay, this should be the one right here. But yeah, it's like super ASMR for days. We got ourselves a little problem here. We're only loading one texture. Thought I commented. Wait a minute, I thought I commented it out. Alright. Texture handles count. should be like 3 on her. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And dun 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 dun. Wait, there we go. One of those is going through vertex count when it shouldn't be. Or not vertex count. Materials. Wait, here we go. Boom, boom. Path. No, I didn't do anything there. I should just return before I get to that. Yeah. Go ahead and load in the textures. Check the load and textures method. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, last texture name. We're gonna put a print there so I can read that every time. System print last texture. Last texture name. And what else do I can put in there? Blue plus texture count. So I can see that. There's something going wrong there. Give a space. Texture handles count. There we go. Alright. Let's see what's going wrong there. It's only giving one of my models one texture. So I've definitely screwed up something there. The one model's working perfect. The one with only one texture. But that's because it's only got one texture. So let's see what we got in our log cat. I think that weird digital sound was actually the snare from that producer's kick or kit. And it had like a ton of reverb and delay on it and stuff. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm looking for last text. It should be for every texture that gets loaded. So last text after loading. Cloth, hair. Last text, cloth, last text. Hair, last text. Skin, ignoring first material but adding an object, okay. Oh, cool. So, what about Midna? Did it do that with Midna? Yeah. Last text. Okay, so it loaded all the textures from Midna. And then loaded all the textures for that one too. Oh, texture count wasn't being incremented. So every time we load up their texture, we're going to increment texture handles count plus plus. Let's make sure we're not doing that somewhere else, because it might be. Got any more occurrences, up or down? None. Okay, that's where I messed up. Now back to the other method, which was not load texture, but no. Alright, load textures, read in, and save that and run that. That should work. That's why I was on there loading 0th texture. I was loading all of them, but I was only getting output on one of them, choking it all off with that if statement because I wasn't incrementing texture count or the handle texture handles. GL's weird. It's basically a state machine, but now you have shaders, so you have a lot more flexibility and strength with what you can do with your code. It's pretty freaking neat. Well, I'm kind of glad I learned the fixed function pipeline first, because a lot of the methods and stuff, let's see if we don't have any. Okay, loading. It loaded Midna. We're good there. No, actually it didn't. It did not finish loading in Midna. So yeah, that should be working. Oh, texture names. That's what I should be using. Huh, not really. Not necessarily. So apparently, I believe I've got two variables that are names are too similar. So I need to hunt them down and refactor one of them. See, I didn't even get to the last text on that one. It should have. Yep. My logic is flawed. And it is flawed because I am stupid. Okay. Last night's text name can't equal that. Oh, yeah. I'm choking it completely out. That was stupid. Undo. Okay. If the last texture name is blank, then that means that, yeah, I can go ahead and just do that. Comparative, it'll always work. Because once it gets loaded once, it'll have something in it. And it'll always be different. Or the same. So that's where I messed up. And that should be all she wrote. Dum. I need to make sure I didn't make that static either. If that's static, it'll mess the other one up. No statics, no statics. I've actually been good about not using statics yet. I'm gonna wait till I get this whole class completely encapsulated and then make a static list of them for an array. I don't really like using lists, linked lists, and all that other weird stuff. Okay, so we got every texture, but then I got the short end of the stick. So what happened here? Last text. That's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, we got a problem. What was this? Shader compiler version, build date. Oh, duh. That's normal debug. Resource manager, get the top of it. Yeah. Okay. Where's my text? There we go. Loading texture model. Midna. Okay, so we got that model loaded in. And where's the other models? It looks like we skipped one. Loading model. No, I got that one. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's loading the models or textures right. I just have to display them properly now, or make sure that they're not getting jumbled up. It shouldn't be though. Just gotta double check my logic. Texture handles count is greater than 1. Use I. If it's greater than or equal, no way. It's just gotta be greater than. Otherwise, use texture handles 0. So we need to get rid of some of this debug code. Find system. Find it. Okay. Loading model, we know that. That one's fine, because we got one right after that. Let's see, order materials, we're fine with that. We're fine with ignoring first material. Setting materials. There's a big block of code that needs to go away. See ya. Boom, okay. That was killed like 10 lines of code. System, where you at, system? I think it's most of them. Yep. Okay, it's done. We want that one, that's good. Found match. We're not gonna worry about that so much. Oh wait, yeah. That's when rearranging textures, okay. And system, there we go. We got open material. We don't want that one anymore. There we go. We just want loading texture. Alright. So now let's get a better look at this. I'm actually going to yeah, maybe I can just change the way I'm doing that. Ah. Yep. That'll work out a lot better if I just say if I is less than texture handles count. Then we'll just use 0 if not. There we go. That's a little better. It's a little bit cleaner. No control over I. I is going to be the vertex buffer. There's always going to be more, or technically there should be more objects than there are textures. I mean, why would you use multiple textures on one object? That just seems needlessly messed up. Okay, an object. Oh, we added different objects there. What happened there? Oh wait, no, okay. And boom. And let's see what we got here. We have our last text 012. So that came out right. We loaded that 1, 2, 3. And we loaded that 1. See if I is less than texture handles count. Which if I is 0 and 0. Put an or in that. Wait, no. Let's do this. If texture handles count is equal to 0. There, just have 2 ifs. I'm really taking my time on my model loader because that's one of the strongest points I think it's going to be for my code, because the rest of it's easy. It's just playing with math and figuring out formulas and applying them and stuff like that. It's really fun once you get to that point. This part's a little tedious, but it's necessary. Okay, that's almost all of your stuff. The textures are kind of messed up. I need to put a print where I'm ignoring a texture. Oh wait, maybe it's where I reordered them. No. Okay, load texture. That's where I messed up. Derp. Yeah, I need to increment that after I call this because this returns. I keep forgetting that this returns. Find next, please. There we go. There we go. Now we're talking. That should be all of them. Can't believe it. I have some of the dumbest logic errors sometimes. It's ridiculous. Like, I think I already talked about the ones I ran into about textures. That loading in the wrong data is messing me up really bad. I had to walk through the wavefront object format. Like, I can talk about the format. The format's really cool. It has just a big block of vertexes, which is an XYZ in a table, or it's ordered to where they're individual or unique sets of XYZ coordinates. And we still got a problem here. So what is happening? It's loading those like they're supposed to. Yeah, that's right. She has a redundant one. One of hers is I thought I'd run into that. So when we ignore them, gonna have to reorder those first. That's the problem. But I'm still not getting the other one either. Where's Midna? Why is she showing up? Midna texture count. Is it gonna say 0? Probably will. Midna. Yeah. So texture count 0. I can't put that print line there, otherwise I can't see it. I don't know what it's going to be. If it gets to there, it's 1 plus that. So the vertex counter does not equal. No, that can't be either. Okay. If I is less than texture handles count, that should always be true. Equals 0. Yes, that's what we're going to do. If I equals 0. I is equal to 0. Go ahead and load that 0th texture. So that will be true no matter what. Otherwise, make sure I is less than the texture handle count. And do that. Okay, so the rendering's right. It's the best, most elegant way I can put that. But now I have to order these again. That's a weird problem I ran into. The material sheets don't have the textures in order necessarily, especially if you do preserve vertex order when you export it. So that's kind of something you have to look out for. And that's on, like, I'm trying to get every odd variable out of the way so that when I get to making a game, I don't have to worry about fixing stupid stuff like this. Let's see. Back to the material loading. Read materials. All right. Okay, we're going to. Where do those get ordered at? They get ordered later on. So after read materials comes from load model. So load model read materials. Okay, is this where we arrange them? Yeah, rearrange textures. There we go. Looks a little bit off. Texture handles. Okay, yeah, we need to do all this in the read materials method at the bottom, right before we read in the textures. And that way we don't have to worry about the order or any of that crap. I can just load them in Count to the handles. No problems. No problems. All right. Let's double check all that. Excuse me. And this way, I'm going to be missing one texture, possibly two, but everything else should work. So I should get a midna that works, and then I've got the model from Lollipop Chainsaw. It's pretty funny. There's multiple versions of her too, like every one of her, like different versions. Okay, that loaded really fast. Done. No? And object 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay, there we go. Yeah, exactly like I thought. Sweet. Alright, so now that means I need to so that means every I'm gonna look up every name every time I freaking render this, so I gotta get that set in stone. Let's see. So if we find one that is equal, where's that at? We will just give it the same integer, and then we'll check the integers to make sure those don't get used twice in a row. That's what we'll do. Alright. And let's overload a texture, else we are going to put texture handles I equals texture handles I minus 1, and we're going to say if I is greater than or equal to 1. There. Now this should all be loaded, and it should have redundancy, but not much. It should only load each texture once. That's the main thing, is the hard drive. I really want to keep from reading and writing on the hard drive too much on the phone, because it makes them hot. They heat up really fast when you end up doing a lot, and it kills your load time too. You gotta keep that as slim as possible. This is actually like the second phase of load time. The first phase is gonna be just a loading screen. I might see about trying to make like a semi-transparent window or something like that. Try to get a little fancy with it. Yeah, alright. No, we're still missing out on some textures. So check the pass. Make sure this will actually work. Using material count. That is not a variable I was expecting to use. No. It's not her set material count is 0. So that's good. We can use that. And yeah, that's kind of done right there. If we found a match, no, found index host count. Okay, so that's all safe. We do have all of our textures, 0, 1, 2, all in a row. And Yep, this is in the wrong spot. So close though. So if we skip one, we're going to make that path equal to a null string, right? Yeah. We're going to do that. If we don't, if we find a match. If we find a match, make that path a null string. Then we'll rearrange them. And Alright, so the first time we go through, if the names names and ordered names. Okay, so we got all that. That's good to go. I'll arrange them. Then I need to get rid of redundancy. So to get rid of redundancy, we're going to say we're going to go through some material and we're going to make a string array of temp names, and that'll be the size of texture handles count. There we go. And if the what is it called again? Texture pass I. Texture pass I dot equals a blank. Oop, no. I hate when it formats my code. I do not like the way this thing formats. I'll probably never get that thing trained right. Try as I might, I don't think I'll ever get it. Let's see. Okay, so if it's a blank, in that case we need to make bubble them all up. So we go for int j equals 0 or j equals I. I haven't done a bubble in a while. J is less than material count. J plus plus. Okay. I didn't bubble the right way. I need to start at I minus 1. Next thing is start at I and go all the way back to 0. Wait, no, I don't have to do that at all. Just gonna move it back once. Yeah, can't really do this in the order I want it to. Yeah, that really has to go before I load. The textures. I got like a double dependency here. I need one before I can get the other. So, and like I said, I'm trying to make this as streamlined as possible. So We can't just read through it twice. That would not be acceptable at all. So maybe we will... You gotta get those ordered. This has kind of got me at a loss here. So... yeah, we really need to order these up before we load those, so that it all needs to move up. Yeah, I don't need to change the actual indexes. I need to change the actual names. So change that to strings. That's the easy fix. That'll be a string array instead of an integer. It's a little costly, but I'll take it. And found indexes I is going to equal since those are both the same, I can use either one. So J is the main one. We're starting out at 0. And 1. Ooh, there's a double loop there, so yeah. If it finds 1, gotta be careful here. I don't want to screw this up too bad. Be hard to fix. Okay. This already works with integers. That's not new. What did I have there before? Yeah, okay. String and string. And then this is I equals material order names. Alright. This turned out to be a little bit more complicated than I thought. About to get there though. So we pretty much take one, compare it to all the others. We actually need to start at yeah, we check all the names. See if it equals the ordered names. Where did I get those ordered names? If I get rid of that, that's not helping me at all. Yeah, let's go and bring that print line back. Make sure this is actually working. Oh, yeah, it's got to do that. It's got to find the matches. Alright. All is well there. The textures. Those will take care of themselves, because I'm going to order them before I load them. Oh, put that back. And now, boom, boom. Okay. And that way we can make sure when we get our matches. Okay. That should be me right there. You don't have to do if that at all. Just straight load those in, no operator whatsoever. Because this should be a perfectly ordered list. And boom, 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 boom. Crap. I hate formatting. Oh wow. Went too far. Somehow got rid of my 4. Give me my 4 back. There we go. Alright. Yoink. Oh, how I deleted that, but it did. Sorry, there's some hotkeys in here that trip you up for no reason. Alrighty then. This should be the one. There's a lot of changes. Way more than I thought. Way more than I thought. But more efficient. That way I'm reading in. Reading. Gotta add them objects. Give me 3 objects. 1, 2, 3. And done. Alright. Cool. Very close. Cool. Okay. That's more like what I expected. That means I think the hair is the last model, and then clothes. Which those are reversed, so that might be good though. Let's see, which one did I found match? Let's see how those worked out. Did I get a found match? Ooh, I did not get a found match. I should have had plenty of those. Excuse me. It brought in hair twice. It should not have done that. Okay. Yeah, we got a bubble. Ugh. It's only 4 members though, or probably 8 tops, maybe 12 or 16. What's up, Brazil? What's up, Bright Gray ASMR? Digging your new pad? Alright, so we're really close now. Super close. I just have to make sure we don't get the doubles. Where was I getting material names? I bet that's probably messing me up. Material names. Let's look for how many times that shows up. Boom. Yeah, those happen way up at the top. That's when we're loading in the model. Oh no, that's when we're reading the materials. So yeah, all those are found right there. And those come from, yeah, alright, cool. So yeah, no problems there. Those are all nice and loaded. Oh, yeah, before we add those material names, we need to go through and make sure those names aren't the exact same as something else. So, boolean found equals false, or int equals 0 is less than. I'm just going to go for material count. If material names I dot or a, be careful with that, a dot equals them there material name. And then format that properly, raw, there. And here's the data equals that. So we found one, ignore it. Found equal true. And if not found, go ahead and add it. There. Now, then it'll order them once it does that. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, that way to completely ignore it. That actually works out because my other one to find the ID should work too. That should all line up. Synergy. I hate that word. What's up, Denmark? And done. Awesome. Not quite right. Got part of it better though. Let's see, we need to put in some, yeah, we need to put in when we add materials and make sure that read through all that, make sure that's all kosher, because that's how we're going to get our indexes. Okay. No material. Only happened once. Oh, I see what's happening now. Yeah, it did cut out the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. That presented another problem. That's not the actual name at that point that I'm looking for. It's texture pass. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. The ignore on right there. Okay, so we'll take all this found stuff. Let's copy that whole method right there, whole block. Take this out. There we go. We know our material count doesn't change. And right here, go ahead and make that name there, and check right here for found, and we're going to go with texture paths. Checking texture name, which is a temporary variable, and texture paths, Alright, there we go, there we go, there we go. And texture name. Texture paths. Oh. Wait a minute. Alright. Yeah. And boom. Oh, those material counts are getting out of control. Yeah, that needs to not happen. It needs to be texture names count. Texture names count. And that path actually needs to be and also need to check dot equals make sure it doesn't equal path plus that plus texture name. That's how we'll find out if we found one. If we didn't find one, add one. Alright. And then, that doesn't need to happen that way. Texture name count. Names count. There we go. So if we didn't find one, go ahead and add it. If not, skip it. Believe, yeah. Okay. Alright, so that way we have all the names that we want, but yeah, we also, if we found it, we need to change the name to match. Yeah, I got one more thing to change. I shouldn't have compiled that. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Yeah, what I screwed up there was if we found one, then that means that texture paths A Yeah, what I need to do is I should have had another set of variables to save to, really. Getting careless with this. So we're just going to read what we got. Let's figure out where things are getting messed up. say we need to find out what texture paths A is. That way we'll know. That's if it's found. So I'm gonna change that to say found duplicate. And see if not found. Found unique. The texture paths, texture names count. And put that incrementer down here one more. All right. It missed so many materials. Didn't find any duplicates. Didn't find anything. That just got all messed up. How did I mess that up so bad? I don't have texture names. Do I? I bet I do. No, that's right. I don't have a texture names, but I'll leave that error there so I can find my place easy. Texture. Make sure I don't have anything too similar. Handles. That's all I got. And yeah, that's it. So, where that error at? Right there. It's never found in any matches because I'm not letting it read anything in. Let's see. So for that, we have material names. Too hard to find. So maybe it is just texture name. I'll try that. Let's see if maybe that works. Oh, yeah, names is a temporary. Put that there just for that. Cool. Yeah, I did it that way so I could do all my sorting and ordering and all that stuff and then use the actual variable to offload it. Let's get rid of all this found nonsense. Just do it like that. Need to print there just so I can see it. Whoa. We are missing a bracket. That's not a good thing to do. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I can see it. It's right there. I got an extra right there. And build. To see run. Yeah, here we go. There's all my textures again. Did my phone die? Nope, it did not. This slash texture name. Getting close. I got the rendering the way I want it. It's dead on. I just gotta order these things nicer. So probably got to do is wait till I get to the end and then take the integers, because those are going to be the easiest ones to compare and the cheapest to compare, I think. Pretty sure integer is smaller than a string. String can be ginormous. And it should be good to go. Yeah. Okay, so we got that back. That's normal. We really just need to do work on these integers. And we have a list of names to compare them to. An ordered list of names to compare them to. Right? Let's see if they're ordered. Whoa, no they're not. Added material name, found unique. Yeah, that's wrong. Where's all that at? Oh. Yeah, that's normal. Right there. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There. There. And let's see. Add a material name. Found unique. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. She should have 4. Yeah. And then loading last, loading last, loading last, loading last. I mean, that could be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. That's all doing right. Midnight's not doing right either. She's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, which is to be expected. Okay. Alright, so now that we have we're going to go down here after we have the ordered names. That's where the text is in. That's where we order the names. Right? Double check that. Yeah, pretty sure. Let's read that cat one more time. Let's have a drink. Sit here for like an hour and a half or two or something. No, an hour and 20 minutes. Oh no, not 2 hours. Start a little bit early, like 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Should be found match. I need to find the found match. There we go. Found. This is never getting called. It's not material names. Why is that in yellow? Flip equals. No. I don't want to. I don't want me to flip the equals on that. That's stupid. That should be found though. Huh. Quite odd. Oh, yeah. Duh. You can't use system.out.println. Sometimes it'll come through, but most of the time it won't. It gets lost. And it's probably in there. I just can't read it because it's black. Everything else is blue that I post out. Well, that and the big things that happen with my program, like garbage collection, shows up in blue. Which I only hit garbage collection when I go back to back to back to back. And those were when I was really experimenting, trying stuff that probably shouldn't have been doing. Like my blending code, I was having a hard time figuring out how to do that. Okay, that should say a whole bunch of found match because that's the only way those actually get loaded. Huh. They're already in order? There's no found match. How's that even work? I shouldn't be getting any of these textures loaded if I'm not finding a match. Material name. So that name has nothing to do with texture name. It's material names. Wow. Let's see. Oh man. Yeah, that's where I messed up. Now I should be finding the doubles. section. Oh wait, no. Ooh, I did that wrong spot. That was texture path. That needed to stay that way. Okay. Not messed up. Alright, enter name, texture paths. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, none of this code's been called at all. So material names get set right there. And that gives me a path with the texture name. And that's the actual texture name. Okay. Alright. So what I need now is texture paths. I'm going to set material ordered names. I need to find that. Find up. There we go. Yeah. The very first lines we're done. That's in the file loader. Okay. Oh, that's how they're ordered. Okay. And those ordered names are getting incremented, so I don't need to increment them down here. That's probably where I screwed up. Yeah, we can check material names and ordered names. Stop trying to use path. Let's find indexes. Yeah, this is broken right here. So I go through the material count, I check to see if that names is equal to the ordered names. Found indexes J, material order names I. Path match. So I guess we're never finding a match. That can't be. That absolutely cannot be. At no point I had to screw something up. Let's try that one more time. Let's see something. And the RAM or something. I don't know. Let's see. Hey, the Mojo Burrito. I love that place. That's freaking awesome. There's shrimp quesadilla. Very tasty. Plenty of sour creams and sauces. Fried shrimps. A lot of cheese. Oh, a lot of cheese. Love my cheese. Hey, there we go. Now we're loading textures. Find any matches? Still not saying we found any matches. So I guess it's just keeping them in order. Yep. I was doing. Alright, so that being said, I need to get rid of some variables to make sure I know what I've got and what I don't got. Guts and don't guts. Let's get rid of that. Make sure that's not getting used somewhere. Okay, last text. Okay, that's the only place that's used. It's only used two places, but in the same method. So that I will keep. Let me use it. And let's see, what's the other thing I need to check out? Access can be private. I don't care. See, rearrange the textures. Load them in. Okay, let's see if I've got this copied and pasted somewhere. It shouldn't be. No, that's the only place. Okay, just making sure. Material count should be incremented. Oh, yep. I need to see J. We'll go with, yeah, that one will be J. This one will be I. So we'll go through the I's first. The I's have it. Actually, no. The J's have it. J's go first. And that right there, and this instead needs to be found indexes. There we go. I should have indices. I hate having spelling errors in my names for. There we go. Didn't load any objects at all. Okay, so maybe that was right. How? I could not tell you though. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is backwards. No. Let's take the material names first. Go through all the ordered names until I find it. Yeah. That'll be 0 and read through all the J's. Flip up be 1, go through all the J's. Okay. And let's loading textures, and that should work now. we go. Load normal textures again. Fixing to say done. Oh, add 3 objects, then done. Boom. Okay. Still solid. You just gotta flip these around. It's getting hung over. Let's see where this is at. How many times is this used? That's just a print line. 2. Okay, it's declared. It's incremented when you load textures. It's printed out there. Okay. So like I said, the rendering part is solid. Just gotta order these pairs better. So it would be the most ideal way to do that. That's where I load the textures in. I'm gonna put a big bar on that so I can see it. Before we get there, we need everything ordered. Oh, also do this. Found indexes count. Yeah, that should work. Alright. Now it'll only work if I find them. Yeah, so if that's somehow not working, then I'll find out right now. It has to be working though. In. Yeah, it's not working at all. Because those aren't being found. Yeah, I'm just out of order as crap right now. Gotta get this back in order. See, I may end up turning this off for too long. I don't have Rust. My modeling skills are garbage. I've just been modeling to try to understand the file format and everything. I made a few cubes. Frustratingly, I've made a few cubes. Like, the cube's easy to make, it's just trying to texture it and all that stuff. Blender's pain in the butt. Way too many shortcuts. I don't know any of the shortcuts. Alright, we guess to be finding these here. Yeah, we have just completely screwed the pooch. Oh. Yeah, that's where I messed up right there. That needs to be before I drop my phone. Still not gonna find any though. Names and order names. Those are never gonna be the same. Yeah, they're never gonna be the same. Yep, I just figured out what happened here. My comparative operator, or my comparative statement, was extremely jacked up. So we're going to start putting in prints right here to see what our problem exactly is. We're going to read in, this is material names plus I plus equals plus material names I. There. That will tell everything. One thing I've found with Blender, it's kind of annoying, is it doesn't have any built-in alpha support. Like, you have to click a checkbox to make sure it uses alpha, and even then it may look messed up if the drawing order's not right. I don't know if that's just a problem with Nintendo's 3D modelers. They probably use some kind of proprietary software or what, I'm not really sure. Okay, added material. Name, that's not what I'm looking for. There we go. Yeah, we got cloth, eyelash, hair, skin. Okay, material names are coming in. And we're gonna check what are, I should have printed this out too. So it says we're gonna do the material ordered names as well. So it should be the same size arrays. And if they throw an error, then that'll be a big tell right there. That should all be square up. Should be the exact same size. We're just reading through each material name, material ordered names. Those ordered names are how I got my texture coordinates to begin with. That's why I'm having a problem. Because I went from, what I did was, is I ordered the strings after I loaded the textures, which was dead wrong. And before that, I was doing it during the file read. Like when the file was done reading, the material file, I was ordering them then. That's why there was still redundancy, but everything looked right. Okay, here we go. We're talking about material names. Null. So, yeah, where's these material ordered names? Find above here. Okay. It should be there. Keep going up. Keep looking. It's probably forgot to assign it. That was a space. Okay. Declaration. Separation. Really now? So that's just a temporary variable somewhere with a very similar name, which is always a bad idea. Never do the similar name variables. It's very stupid. Yep. I need to load the textures after I load in all the vertexes. That's where I've messed up pretty bad. Read materials after read the vertices. That's how I get my ordered. Yeah, that was my dependency. That's where I screwed up. Okay, right there. Read materials, dead last. Which will make some of this code go lightning fast. That stuff happens. Well, no, that's the slowest part, but stuff before it's super quick. Zip, zip. Thousands of vertices. Is it vertex or vertices? Couldn't tell you. Don't care. It's all the same to me. Alright, now we're talking. Okay, those are those material ordered names. Yeah, are these the same? Okay, there's all my textures. Okay, material names, ordered names. Those are different. That's good. But they're the same format. That's very important. Okay. Now, I've probably had this written correctly like 5 times. But I just had that one thing out of place. Okay, let's get back to materials again. Now that we have our ordered names. Yeah, we got found match, etc., etc. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Okay, so there's all my matches. So I can take rid of, that's going to be too much information. Now that we're actually finding our matches, how did midnight work out? Still loaded all our textures. Was that found indexes count? Okay, if we find a match, yeah, this is actually where we need to use this. String last name equals that. And if we equals and last name, if not last name dot equals the one on the side, material order names J. There we go. Got the parenthesis, and there we go. This should now give me an ordered list. Shortest version of a shorter ordered list, where they're actually still lined up with the texture coordinates, or texture handles. There's so many silly little words for OpenGL. Texture handle, vertex, vertices, UVs, texture coordinates, normals, faces, winding. Lots of regular everyday words, but have very deep meanings. Okay, so we got all our redundancy back. This is what I'm looking for right here. After it. After it loads mid, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Boom, 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 boom. We should have 4 matches, which is... Don't think that's correct. I think there's only going to be 3. But how many textures do we load? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, loaded 4. Texture count's 3, which is good. Close. So, you never found matches. Yeah, we found 4 matches. Matches were found that were oh, I didn't set last name. Last name. You big dummy, you did not set last name equal to gotta refactor that name. Excuse me. If I don't refactor that name, I'm gonna get lost. As long as this compiles, I'm gonna go ahead and refactor it. But I'm pretty sure that should be my shortest version of the list right there. It'll only get me the ones that are unique. And I can use the other ones to get the actual integers. No, I don't need the integers. Wait. Okay. Cloth, hair, skin. You see, we're not getting the actual name that we need. Yeah. Yeah, we're just finding a match on every single one of them. The name we actually need is the file name. So yeah, those ordered names. Very close. Super close. Just need to correlate them there, texture paths. That's why I had found indexes as an integer. Let's see now. Yep. Oh, wait. That might actually be a file name. Yeah, because we have been using texture paths, which we're setting those when we actually load them in. No, we can't be. Stupid. Let's go up. One more up. Yeah, that's map KD. Okay, so those are not in order. Material made. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're not ordered. There we go. Those correspond 1-to-1. Texture paths, which is just the weird name. Texture name is coming from that. So, yeah, material names is just the weird name for it. It's the name for the texture. It's not the actual file name. Yes, they had a material name. But let's make sure that, yeah, they do have that cosine 13. Okay, so those are correct. Material names and the ordered names. So that's what we need to do. We need to use the ordered ones. Yeah, just use the ordered ones. Yeah, this is a lot easier than I thought. Since we do have them in order, we can just rearrange them super easy without having to use 2 for loops. That was just dumb. Temporary names. No string. Yeah, we'll make one 8. Not big enough. No, I do need 2 loops. Is less than. Okay. Yeah. Let's actually just back all the way back. We need that the way it was. With a few little changes. Material ordered names count. Okay. And yeah, we're just gonna do that. Here's the ordered names. Let's block out just about everything except for found match. Yeah, there we go. And let's get the found indexes count. Cool. Alright. Really need to double check that. Oh. Didn't check for last name. Didn't mean to cross that out. At least it'll work. Load them all in order. Should be ordered now. Submit enough. Ordered, but way too many pings. 5 of them. Okay, they're not ordered though, because I didn't check for last name. So I check for last name. Shoot. And there. And now. Boom. I need to make sure that's not a coincidence either. That those are the same. Check material and the model. Yeah, materials, new material. Where's the file names? There we go. it's still loading. Hey, garbage collector. That hasn't happened in a while. A long time, actually. I've been coding all freaking afternoon. Yeah, that's not always going to work, though. That found match is not always going to work. Or is it? Yep, yeah, it is. Give me a done. Nope. This one's got a ton of verts. It's a huge model. I don't know why they modeled it so big, but they did. Doesn't really matter, you can always scale it. I guess that was the main reasoning behind it. No, I haven't played the new Mario. I want to. It looks really awesome. Yeah, because in the case of Midna, that material, yeah, it has something completely different and weird. Each object has a different name than the actual texture name. So that's why that's not working out for you. Simple things like that that'll really mess you up. So no wonder. So I can fix the single one's really easy. That's a brute force. Just check if all those are the same. So what I need is actual file names. Those material ordered names are what I'm looking for. Those are actual file names. Double check. Make sure I'm saying that right. Yeah, those ordered names come in the form of the model loader. Okay. Yeah, that's giving me an actual file name. Nope, it's not. Where's map KD? Doing that in two places a bit, or I was doing it in one, and then yeah. Okay, probably need to take a break. Been sitting here solid for a little over 2 hours. Need to meditate on this a little bit too. I've been pushing really hard, making huge changes, and then just reverting it back. I got most of it memorized. Like that wavefront file format, I have it super memorized. There's only a few different little nuances to it that I don't know yet, or know how to implement yet, really. I know what to do, but I don't know exactly how to do it, like shading, the rendering hints, stuff like that. I have those down. But I do have pretty much everything else down. Faces, vertexes, texture vertexes, normals. Yeah, those ordered names need to come from somewhere else. Those need to happen. They're happening in the wrong space. I'm getting the name of the material, not the actual file name, which is not always the same. The file name can be completely unique, and the material can have a different name. So where is this? this is in read materials, which happens after we've already read the models. So there we go, material names, new material. Let's see this. Yeah, okay, so that's garbage. Yeah. I didn't need to save that at all. That needs to be, yeah. No, oh, yeah, okay. I just needed to add these together, or not add them, but assign them at the same time. Yeah, because that does me no good whatsoever right there. Yep, that is done. I'm gonna comment it out in case I made it though. That whole 8 lines or whatever is ill-gotten. Do not need it. That name is very useless. Count is equal to the texture name, the real texture name, the one that comes from the KD line. Look at the material to make sure KD ping. Okay, good and deal. All right, now we're getting there. Go ahead and do the paths. That might not be the best idea though. Ordered names, where's those coming from? Scans. Those happen as I'm reading the actual object. Oh yeah, so I do need those stupid names to compare to. Ah, so frustrating. Those names merely get you to the texture name directory. Yeah, those ordered names are wrong. So wrong, so wrong. But that is the order that they are read in. So yeah, we're going with that. Yeah, we gotta go with it that way. So those ordered names there, they are ordered. They're automatically ordered because that's the way I read them. And we do have to read in those material names right there. And okay. Yeah, and those do have to be Alright, so now it's going to do a huge freaking print. We are going to find out where that added material line is and get rid of it. It's too much. You might be able to hit my little nephew. He's adorable. I throw him up in the air and I'll let him fall just as far as I can without letting him touch the ground. So like he'll get a good 2 or 3 feet of free fall. He's just like, whoa. He loves that crap. He gets mad too if I stop. He's like, no, no, no. Up, up. I'll switch ears again. Alright. So the massive print. Right here at the end. Ordered. This one will not be ordered. So in some cases I should get, this is from material, MTL, and it's not ordered names, material names, boom boom, it's there. Now we should see, I'll put a big line in there too. Big line, all the pipes. Pipe, 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 bam. I'm going to print this off. And I need to find where that one print line is, added material name. Get rid of that. Added material name, there we go. Boom, boom. Maybe this would be the one. At least study my data, see what I need to do with it. Because the one model I need to just barely move one up, but I need to figure out exactly when and how. So far everything's working out good. I can load in the materials after I load in all the geometry. That I wasn't expecting. I was actually worried about that a little bit, but apparently it's no issue. It puts a little bit more weight later on in the loading, but I don't think it'll look any different. Just have a loading bar. The loading bar will basically go boom. Okay, where did all my prints go? I did not see my prints. We had an error. Yep, something happened. He's in there fighting. He's awesome. Kids are wild. think I'm about to end this. I'm about to be running crazy here for too long. It's funny, if I had the box closed, you wouldn't be able to hear him at all. This should be, I should be able to see my data now. Okay, it's looking good. I found one match. It's gonna take a minute to load this. Oh, no, it errored out. I found the match and then probably went out of bounds. Okay. The beauty of this is I have a backup. I made a backup right before I went to work. So if I get too bent out of shape, then I can just roll back. Ooh, we added too many objects. Added way too many. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that should be mid now. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we had done happen twice there. That's not good. Count. Okay, first of all, let's just see what's happening to Midna. I'm gonna hide everybody but Midna. Boom. Just see what happens with Midna, if anything at all. Probably just got to roll back. Mess with it a little bit more. Okay, yeah, hiding that did not help at all. At all. So we need to get back to here. All this ordered nonsense. Yeah, that's what it was. I used the ordered names, compared them to the material names to figure out which indexes to use. So I need to get like a quick sorting algorithm, like in a static method, so I can do it just with one line of code. And then that's pretty much it. Once I have that, it's down. And then I can move on to, I guess, camera work and do a lot of camera stuff. That'll be my next goal. So rocking with some camera. Camera's pretty easy. It's mostly, I'm just gonna, well, I'll have to start doing 2D so I can make little controllers so I can control the scene and stuff. So that'll happen kind of at the same time. I'll do 2D and camera. That'll be my next big goal once I get this crap right here figured out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna kill it here. This has been a pretty long time just for me talking and chilling out. But try to do an ASMR stream soon. Hopefully this weekend. We'll see. Honestly, not sure. But yeah, I don't want to guarantee it, but I'll say hopefully I'll see you Friday. If not Friday, then Saturday. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.